It's time for this week's episode of Brandon's Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon's Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Madison Mallards Baseball Club's general manager, Samantha Rumble. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to start working in professional sports?
Yeah, so I had always had sports been kind of a big part of my life. And so it was kind of just an easy transition when I got to college, wanting to continue that. And I was an athlete in high school, an athlete in college. So it all kind of just fit together, worked really well.
Of course, what was it like going to the University of Florida to study sports management?
It was awesome. My professors were the best. I had great connections. I had a great job when I was there as well, working in the athletic department. So it was great to be able to create those connections early on in college and really carry most of those out to my professional career today.
What was it like first getting started working for the Florida Gators on the game day administration side?
Yeah, it was great. So I was a game day ambassador, and so what I did was worked on fan services, helped answer people's questions if they had any questions or concerns about where their seat was or anything like that. So it was great. It was so much fun. I ran like a specific part of the swamp, which is of course football stadium out there. So I ran the south end zone, and it was awesome being able to be with all those people. There's like 90,000 people at every game. Was great. It was a blast. It was really, really fun.
What was that like, obviously, getting to work the swamp and getting to work a specific area of it?
It was perfect. It was nice. It really taught me kind of um the grind of working a game day. So coming in early, staying late, making sure people got home safe or got to their seats, different things like that. But it really kind of solidified how I wanted to work in game day operations or have some sort of say in game day operations. Because that's really where I had the most fun. I'm not a person to like sit behind a desk and crunch numbers or anything like that. So being able to be a part of it and do something a little bit different every time was awesome.
What was that transition like for you from going from college athletics to getting in professional sports?
It was different for sure. So in college, it was kind of like a college job. Obviously, I was professional in that setting, but it was also fun. Like I would hang out with my bosses, and everyone was around the same age, and so that was a lot of fun. And so transitioning into the professional world, it wasn't hard, but it was just more of a transition. Really making sure that all of that was um, kind of clear, and it was great. Like being in professional sports has been such a great opportunity, and I couldn't imagine doing anything differently.
What was it like first working with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs?
It was good. It was a really great first job. I started as an intern there. I was actually a sales intern, and then I transitioned into a marketing role when the marketing director left during my intern year. And so was hired full time after my internship. And so it really worked out well. It was like the perfect first job to get my foot in the door and to learn and to understand what kind of happens when it comes to game days and baseball and all of that. So it was great. It was like the perfect spot to be.
What were some of the things that you learned as a marketing manager to then help you to become the marketing director for them?
Yeah, so I was able to oversee like game day scripts and like promotions and coming up with the crazy promotional ideas. So I was hired in 2019 full time after the season, so like October of 19, and then of course was there was COVID during 2020, so everything was kind of put to a halt. And during COVID, I was really fortunate enough to keep my position with the Blue Crabs. So I was able to really learn everything and really get a well-rounded experience and role of tickets and sales and marketing and all of that. So it was great. It was a great role to then kind of take it on that leadership role next to be the director, and still kind of play in that marketing side, but also take a lot of that stuff that I learned during the pandemic and put that to the test essentially.
Of course, how was that like, obviously, running the promotions for the Maryland Blue Crabs?
It was fun. It was so much fun. It was a great opportunity. We always had like a fun and interactive crowd. And so being able to put on a show essentially and make it a family atmosphere and a fun venue for people to come to, that was really the end goal. And so being able to kind of do that piece of it was the fun part. So that's the part that's awesome.
How was the transition like from going from the Maryland Blue Crabs in Maryland all the way to Blue Madison Murray Baseball Club?
Yeah, so we're the Madison Mallards. And so we it's cold, way colder out here for sure in the winter. But it's just a different atmosphere. Every minor league team and every collegiate level team, everyone has a little bit of a different way to do things. And so coming in, it was really spending that time that I was brought in and learning and understanding the ticket system and learning like the marketing and promotion and just really getting to know Madison and getting to know the fan base. And so it was great. It was a great transition. Everyone out here is super nice and fun and interactive, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
Of course, at Madison, what was that like? Obviously, still working on the director of marketing side before becoming the assistant general manager.
Yeah, so it was definitely different. At the Blue Crabs, I was pretty much managing everything day to day. I just didn't really have that title, so I was overseeing all of our game day staff and overseeing kind of all of those components that kind of came with the actual job out here in Madison. So it was a lot of stuff that I was already familiar with and I understood. It was just kind of making it official, sort of. And so it was a great transition. It was a great move. I couldn't have asked for anything more.
How did it feel, obviously, when you got announced to become the assistant general manager at Madison?
It was exciting. I was really excited to be in a new area. I love like traveling and exploring new places, and Madison is such a fun place to be. You have the college here, you have UW, you have like tons of cool stuff to do. So you're never bored in Madison alone. And so being able to make sure that people are coming to Mallards games throughout the summer is even better.
What was that feeling like, obviously being the assistant manager for just a short time before becoming the general manager of the Mallards?
Yeah, so it was always kind of part of the plan for that to happen. It was just a matter of when and how soon after I came in. And so it was definitely something I was expecting. It wasn't unexpected at all. It was kind of the reason I was hired, is to really lead that day-to-day operation. And so it was exciting. It was really fun. It was great. The community here has really rallied around and really come together through it, which I think is great. And at the end of the day, being a part of a community is something that I've looked for. That's what separates minor league and collegiate level teams. And if if you're not part of the community here, then you wouldn't have fans in the stands. So it's been great to work with all the Madison people here.
Of course, what is a day in the life of a Madison's general manager?
It changes pretty much every day. So some days it's focusing on sponsorship or getting different partners to the ballpark, or like I don't know, it kind of changes every day. So partnerships, tickets, stadium operations is pretty heavy when we get to in season. Obviously the marketing piece of it as well. So really understanding the whole scope of the business and understanding that piece of it and being able to kind of connect all the dots everywhere. So that's really where the benefit has been, and where like a day to day has been, I guess. It's not really anything normal, which is what I like. I couldn't imagine doing the same thing every day.
Of course, who are some of the teams that you face in your conference?
Yeah, so we face the Lakeshore Chinooks a lot up in somewhere in Wisconsin and Lakeshore. We face the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, Kenosha Kingfish, who else? Wisconsin Rapids, Green Bay Rockers. So there's a ton. I think there's 22 Northwoods League teams, and we face people in our conference more than anyone else. But yeah, there's tons of teams throughout Wisconsin and Minnesota. I think there's even a team in South Dakota. So there's tons of teams all over the place.
Of course, what is that feeling like getting to face those teams like the Wisconsin Rattlesnakes?
So we don't actually face the Rattlesnakes, or the Timber Rattlers is what they're called. So we don't face them. They're an actual like minor league team. We're a collegiate level team. So we play, the guys on our field are college level, not professional. And so we face all college level teams. But it's fun. I mean, I've been able to go to a lot of other ballparks this summer and be able to kind of see what everyone else does and how it works and what they do there. And I love going to new ballparks and checking everything out. So it's always a fun time for me.
Of course, as you talked about being a collegiate team, what has that been like, obviously being a collegiate team for those teams that are on the college level?
Yeah. So, I mean, this past year, so the 2022 year, the Mallards weren't great. And so we're really trying to focus on getting in a new and a really great team. We have a great field manager named Donnie Scott. He's really great. He's been with us for like 7 or 8 years, I believe, and been in the Northwoods League for even longer. So he's a great asset to us. And so we're really just trying to recruit the best team that we can. We try to focus on some Wisconsin teams or Wisconsin guys. But obviously our players come from all over the place. So it's really fun being able to talk to these guys and get everything kind of together and watch the team come together.
Of course, how is it like, obviously, having those guys learn, obviously, about professional baseball with getting that experience?
Yeah, so the Mallards have a really similar atmosphere to a minor league team. And so we're drawing 5,500 to 6,000 fans every single night. So you're getting those atmospheres, those loud and interactive crowds. You're getting the big time feeling sort of when you're in the minor leagues. And so we pride ourselves in giving the guys that experience to play under the lights and to play with those loud and just the distractions that you'll have when you play in the minors and of course the MLB. And so it's been great being able to kind of watch these guys develop. Pete Alonso actually used to play for our team way back in the day, Nico Horner. So we have a handful of guys that are currently in the MLB and are doing really well that have played for the Mallards.
Of course, what is that feeling like getting to see those players that play for you go on to the MLB level?
It's awesome. So I obviously wasn't here when Pete Alonso or Nico Horner played for us, but our manager was, and he actually managed both of them. And so being able to kind of watch them grow and still connect with them and have Donnie, the manager, really still have a relationship with them, it really shows that the way that Donnie coaches and manages a team is definitely unique. And it's a really great feeling to know that we have someone that has developed and grown more than, but those two guys specifically, two really great athletes, and to be on the MLB level.
What are some of the things that you've done so far to enhance the game day experience?
Yeah, so our customer or our fan always comes first. So we're always trying to improve on like part-time staff training and part-time staff experiences as well. We actually just built a new kid zone for 2022, and it's a brand new, all new inflatables, 4,000 square foot sort of layout. It's really fun and it's awesome for the kids. So being able to have that for families that are coming in. We of course have the Busch Light Duck Line, which was rebranded this year as well. So it's an all you can eat and drink experience, which is really fun. So there's definitely something for everyone when you come to a game, whether you come with your kids or you come with your spouse or your partner or whatever. There's always something to do.
Of course, what are some of your future plans for Madison Marlers?
Yeah, so we're just really kind of taking everything year by year. Right now, I don't think that we're looking at any like specific improvements or capital improvements for the ballpark, but a goal that I have in the next probably 2 to 3 years would to be win the championship. We haven't won in like 7 or 8 years. That would be that so huge. I would be really excited to see that happen in the next couple years, as well as just make sure that there's still a spot for everyone in the ballpark. So enhancing all of our experiences, making sure that kids and younger families and all of that are always feeling included at the ballpark. The crazy promotions that we always do, those are huge as well. So just really kind of sticking with what the Mallards know how to do, and that's put on a good show and sticking with it and kind of flying with it.
What are some of the things that you've learned so far with working in professional sports?
It's a grind for sure. The hours in the summer are pretty crazy. It's a sprint. Well, it's kind of a sprint, it's kind of a marathon, it's kind of in between, I guess. And so knowing that, especially in these collegiate leagues, we only play 36 home games. So if you see something that needs to get fixed, you don't have 6 months to get it done. It has to be done ASAP. And really understanding that process. But it's a grind, but again, it's so much fun and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been such a great experience.
Of course, how has that been like? Obviously, as you said, you only have 6 weeks versus a minor league team having 3 months.
Yeah, so I mean, it's different. So we play the guys on our team. So the Mallards play 72 games total throughout the summer. So we start Memorial Day weekend usually. So like May 30th, somewhere in there. And we'll usually end the second week of August. So it's really kind of to get the guys that have ended school, but then also get them back to school in time for classes and their season to start as well. So it's been good. I mean, it's great. It's different, but it's it's fun for sure.
What is it like, obviously, balancing being a general manager and having a life outside of baseball?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough to kind of start drawing those boundaries. I have two dogs, and so making sure that they're taken care of. The staff at work has been great. One of my dogs has actually become like our office dog, which is really nice, especially on game days when I'm gone for a really long time. Um, or I'm not home for a long time. I'm at the ballpark all the time. And so, I mean, it's fine. You definitely just kind of have to set those boundaries and make sure that everything, you stand to what you want and what you believe in. And, that's kind of what it comes down to is putting your foot down and saying either yes or no, or I need time for this. And being able to do that, I think is important in any role. And so understanding that it is a grind, but still making sure that that line is drawn.
What are some of your favorite memories so far as the general manager?
My favorite what?
Memories so far.
Memories? Oh man. 4th of July. Well, we played a game on the 3rd of July and that was incredible. We had a 22-minute fireworks show. We were able to sell out the ballpark, which was so exciting. That was probably one of my best memories. It was crazy. Like it was insane. I was running around the whole day and all of a sudden I was like over and then the fireworks were going. It was all kind of a blur. But it was so much fun. That's definitely one of my best memories.
What advice would you give people that are looking to work inside professional sports?
I mean, always make connections. It's so much about creating relationships and making sure that you're keeping up with those relationships. So it's easy to chat with someone for 30 minutes or so, pick their brain, see what they think you should do as a younger professional. But the hardest part is really keeping those connections. So making sure that you're upkeeping those, you're constantly checking in, you're always saying hi. So then one day when you want to work for whatever person or organization and they know the hiring manager, you already have an in. It's not like you're kind of coming out of the woodwork and asking for something. So making sure that you're creating genuine connections in the industry and really keeping those up.
What advice would you give people that are looking to become general managers of a professional baseball team?
I think that the biggest thing is to just never stop working, and work really hard. I think that there's definitely that stigma of no work-life balance, and you can get that. But to get to a place that you want to be, sometimes you have to work those extra 20, 30 minutes. And, if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. I think that there's always hard work. You'll get rewarded if you work really hard. Now, of course, there's always boundaries and limits that need to get put in place. But if it's something as simple as staying in the office an extra 20 minutes just to answer those extra few emails, then it's always worth it if that's the goal. But I also think that it's just your drive and attention to detail is huge, and knowing that really if you set your mind to it, you can set a goal and you can find a path to get there.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Madison Marlin?
Yeah, so Madison Mallards are on Facebook. You can just search us there. Our Instagram is Madison Mallards as well. My social media, I don't really use it a whole lot. Like LinkedIn is really kind of the best place. And that's just Samantha Rubin. But the rest of my social media, I'm not quite as active on in a professional setting. So, but yeah, my LinkedIn and then the Mallards are on all social media platforms. So you can find us searching Madison Mallards.
Thank you again, Samantha Rubin, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as the Madison Mallards General Manager.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Samantha Rubin, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.